So, it's just a bit of a disclaimer here. Although these were brand new, I did record another unboxing where I broke the seal and only just realised when I'd finished unboxing it that it hadn't actually recorded. So these are still new, they just don't have the seal on the outer box. So if we can see at the box here, it's actually embossed on top of the thing. Although there's footage, it's kind of grainy. You can just sort of see it's overlaid on top of the regular box. And it also has the metal shining a bit. Anyway, under the Designed It by Apple in California booklet, you see it's got all the sort of regular manuals and all sorts of junk like that. Just put that aside. We have the AirPods themselves. They're in some kind of translucent matte sleeve, but bearing in mind these AirPods still have the trademark glossy finish. If you see, it's got a pull tab. I won't do that yet, I'll do that later on. If you can see, we pull up via the rubber ear tips. We see there's a bit of this sort of inlaid cardboard thing which houses the AirPods at normal times. You can see it's got a bit of a pull tab for where you pull it out normally, and then once you pull it out you can see you've got the small ear tips and the large ear tips. The medium ear tips are already installed once in the box. Okay, so after this we move on. We can see we've got a USB-C to lightning cable here, all wrapped up. If you zoom in, this is pretty much identical to the one you get in the iPhone 11 Pro, which maybe hints at some point Apple may be moving to entirely USB-C. Fingers crossed for that. And this is the end of the unboxing. So, and on to the good. So the first good thing is that they have these rubber ear tips, which Apple keep marketing as some kind of revolutionary technology, even though £5 headphones have had it for the longest time. But although I'm taking the mickey here, they're very useful because you can take it out quite easily, replace it, wash it. It's also, if you look in another photo I'll put up, it's got a little mesh, so it means that you can just take out the earbud, wash it, because it's just rubber, but then you can put it back and the AirPod itself hasn't got messy. The next good thing is that it's got this little, if you see here, there's what looks to be like a little white inlay, and that there is actually a force sensor. Unlike the double tapping on the old ones, which used to, like in my ears especially, made like a really loud sound, wouldn't really always work. And on a Mac, I don't know, you couldn't really reprogram it because it would always revert to Siri, which was an absolute nightmare. This one is probably 95% accurate, which is enough. It's also much easier and a lot less annoying. Another good thing is it's got this air pass-through and sensor array. So of course, like the old ones, it can tell you when it's in its ear, it knows what it's doing. It's also got this earbud thing that if you've used anything like Bose QC20s, sometimes when you put them in your ear, you can feel a bit of pressure, but this one is completely alleviated, which makes it much easier to listen for a long period of time. And yes, although it is quite a bit bigger than the last one, I mean quite a bit bigger, not really that much of a disaster, the AirPod case itself is still the best in the business. It's really small, it's really easy, you can fit it in the useless pocket in your jeans any day, very easy. The hinge also feels very sturdy and it looks quite cool, it's quite chunky now. It's also got a useful LED illuminator, so you can tell when it's wireless charging, wired charging, how the case is doing and how the AirPods themselves are doing. And unfortunately, onto the bad. So the first problem, as you may know, is that these AirPods still feature lightning, which I guess if you're an Apple sheep, you've got your iPhone, your Magic Mouse, whatnot, it's not too big a deal breaker. But if you say, I've got like a MacBook and an Android phone, it's actually easier for me to, with my Apple laptop, to use an Android pair of earphones, which is a bit odd. Also, still on the case, it scratches very, very, very easily. And so, I mean, if you put it in your jeans, or I wiped it down with a microfiber cloth and it still got scratched. That's how easy it is. Also, if you can hear in the microphone, this creaking, this is me moving the AirPod case itself from side to side, which, although was a slight problem on the first generation AirPods, have been removed by the second generation. I think Apple probably needs to sort out this hinge, because although it feels quite nice and sturdy and makes the nice trademark sound, it's a bit too creaky and it doesn't seem like Apple build quality. But anyway, on the whole, these are great earphones, definitely recommended. They're a bit pricey, but if you think of it, it combines earphones. It's basically knocked out two products. It means I don't use my AirPods anymore, and I don't use my Sony MDR 1000 XM3s anymore as much, because these are so much easier. And if you say got long hair like I do, it doesn't really, it's not annoying, since it just goes inside your ear, not covering it, going on your sideburns and whatnot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in later videos.